I don't think I'll perform well if I do it alone. I'm not good with this type of stuff. Like, whole social interaction stuff, you know? You dig?
Yep, already. Okay. I guess a little bit of background through most of my like childhood and through school, especially. I was, I guess, looked at by teachers and adults as like kind of gifted, I guess, in quotation marks. And I performed pretty well in all up to through like ninth grade. And sophomore year came around and things started to change. And I guess the transition from ninth to 10th grade and all the things that happened, I lost a lot of childhood joy I had, and I went to a school. Transferred schools from a small town and to like kind of like a boarding school, and it's like a college prep boarding school kind of thing, and I really enjoyed it. I don't regret the experience I had, but I wasn't performing in like classes and stuff as well as I had in previous years, which was a huge point in my self-esteem and how I thought of myself. I kind of thought I was smarter than come to this school and perform poorly, and then the school was changing, but my home life was the same year. We had my mom lost her job, and she went into rehab, and I guess it was just all these things at once. Just my mom losing her job, losing her house, going to rehab, me losing a lot of my childhood innocence, I guess, was probably my greatest sorrow, because I think that's an event that's affected me more so than anything else in my life. So I guess around January was when things with my home life started to hit the fan, and my whole thought was a bit betrayal and lied to, because my mom had lost she works as a nurse and like in a residential homes, and she had lost a couple jobs before then, but I never found out until that time why she had been losing her job. So I felt really betrayed, just kind of like by everyone, because I've been hyped up to be this smart kid and felt lied to by my mom. So I guess the best word I could use is betrayed. One was a Friday evening after classes. I was sitting in my dorm room just chilling, and my phone starts blowing up. I get a bunch of texts from mom saying things like that she's saying what the situation was. She was going into rehab. I didn't know when I would be able to talk to her again. She was going pretty much immediately. My original plan was to stay at the school over the weekend. Then my dad came and got me, and my parents are also divorced, so my dad and stepmom came and got me. He brought me to my grandmother, and she explained things in more detail, and how I would be able to communicate. We got one call a week. Every now and then, once a month, we'd get like visitation days. Once a week, 5-minute call, and then visitation, like we could go see her in person, me and my siblings, once a month. In this situation, she had friends, and she was at their house, and she had just recently gone through dental surgery, and well, she'd actually had lots of dental surgery in the past few years, but she had just recently had more work done, and the painkillers she had been prescribed, she got addicted to them, and her options were, jail or rehab.
Where is he?
Here's somebody.
Oh, hello. Up there.
I was the middle child of my older brother, younger sister, and with me still being gone, still living in school during the whole time it was happening, I don't really know how my brother felt about the whole situation. He never really was open about anything. I think my younger sister, she was about 11 or 12 at the time, so she was pretty confused and didn't really know exactly what was going on. Surprisingly, they seemed to take it better than I did, unless I just could see what they were going through at the time. There may be more behind it that I didn't notice, but it did seem to take it a lot better than I did. For me, it affected a lot of my school life. It made that a lot harder. I couldn't really focus on anything because of the way I felt about everything that had happened. But for my sister, she was just going through school like normal. My brother was still just working, and since I was away, I never really saw them, so I guess I couldn't really say how it looked like they were going through the situation, but I definitely felt betrayed. And we didn't have the best relationship, me and my dad, until more so recently. That was definitely something that helped us, but in a weird way it did bring us closer together, because my dad was there for me in a way that we hadn't really had a connection before.
Well, did your life improve at all, or are you still at a...
Yeah, I have pretty good
Oh.
right now. That was years
Okay.
ago, and I
Try to
really
keep it that
don't
way, man.
regret going to the school.
Keep it that way, man. Keep your life in good shape.
It would have been about 3 years ago, right about this time, because it was in January, and actually right around my first school homecoming, and that was usually in right at the beginning of January, so it would have been around this time 3 years ago. A big step, and probably the hardest, was forgiving my mom for the I felt, and kind of realized I couldn't really put that there. Opioid addiction is a genuine problem, and it's not something that she may have had some control over it, but drugs that addictive, and her being prescribed them can be pretty hard to fight back. And so realizing that, forgiving her was a good step in the right direction. And I did ended up actually going to therapy for a bit, and my therapist kind of helped me realize that I needed to forgive my mom. So what was your question after that? Yeah, I was really kind of put off against the whole idea. I didn't really think it would do anything, but my dad brought up the idea, and he said that through his job, him and anyone in his immediate family has access to 8 free therapy sessions. So I was like, yeah, if it's free, might as well try it out. I ended up going all 8 sessions and then a few more. Definitely glad I did. Well, currently I'm moved in with my dad, living here, and which is a lot. It's kind of weird because all my life I've lived with my mom until a few months ago, and so I guess I need to continue going and seeing my mom and keeping that bond that we have going, and not, if I just stay here all the time and never try and connect, then we might lose the relationship that we have, and I definitely don't want that. She was in there for 6 months. There are different time sessions. I guess they're dependent on what you're in for, but she had to do 6 months. And oh yeah. One thing I regret in that situation I was in was keeping it all to myself. I feel like I could have reached out to more family and possibly done a lot better at that school if I would have been able to, talk through my emotions and everything that was going on. And
friends.
yeah, so don't be afraid to ask for help.
Hey, man, we're here for you.
Don't do that. I can't make art. If you do have a family member that's struggling with addiction, that addiction is like a sickness, you can't always help it, and instead of looking at the sick person as someone who's done you wrong, look at them as someone who just wants to get help. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.